Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black. Masses, that's it. How you doing? Hi, my name's Rory Bentley. I'm back with another heavy metal review. So, today we're going to be discussing one of my favourite Swedish exports. I'm not talking about meatballs, I'm not talking about IKEA, I'm not talking about pornography, I'm not talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I am talking about Avatarium. Yeah, Avatarium. So, we discussed them a couple of videos ago, and I think it's pretty clear from those of you that watched it, all 10 of you, that I think 3 of them might have been me as well. It's pretty clear that I'm a big fan of this band, and I was really looking forward to this new album coming out at the end of October. Now, fortunately for me, I got the date wrong. It actually came out even earlier, so I didn't even have to wait until Christmas to unwrap my presents. So, this is the second full-length album by Avatarium, and I think the best way we can really get involved in this is to dive straight in, get head on, and go track by track. And there's only 8 tracks on there, so bear with me, alright? It's not going to be a big long Iron Maiden thing. Again, I think there was only about 8 tracks on that, but fuck me, that was long. But, yeah, Avatarium. So, first album, very doomy, very heavy, crushing, with lots of different elements peppered in there, here and there, to really give it variety and sustain the listener's interest throughout. That's something that they've taken forward onto their EP, the All I Want EP, and it's certainly something that they've taken forward even further on this album. So this is a much bigger leap forward in a lot of ways. The doom elements are still certainly there, the crushing riffs are still there, Jenny Ann Smith is still absolutely on fire on the vocals, and the guitar solos are similarly fantastic in a Ritchie Blackmore face-melting kind of way. But the keyboards and the organs and the moogs and all the other keyed instruments are much more in the foreground on this one, and I'd say probably that's the main sonic difference other than the general songwriting approach taken a lot of these. So this one is a much more varied album than we've been used to from them, and it's all the better for it, I'd say. There's certainly a change that they needed to make if they were going to continue and progress they certainly have. So let's get straight into it. So the first song, The Girl with the Raven Mask, you may have heard that. That's the single and also the title track. And it's a really upbeat number. It's probably the fastest song that they've done. It's definitely got a complete shift in tempo from the usual funereal, doom, dirgy sound. And it's got a really hard rock kind of feel to it. Brilliant chorus. Again, some really interesting lyrics. Great performance by Jenny Ann Smith. Real drive in drum and bass on there. And it kicks things off with a bang. And, you know, I could see them opening their set with a song like this because it's a really kind of good, energising, pumped-up song. So, off to a brilliant start. Second song, The January Sea, is an absolute, just gargantuan colossus of a song. It's just the perfect distillation of what Avatarium does, and it does different things in there as well. So this is more in line with Pandora's Egg and the title track of Avatarium. It's a much longer piece, much more progressive. It's about over 8 minutes long, and it's just got so many different brilliant things in it. I love the lyrics. They're so mysterious in the same way that Moonhorse was on the first album, and also I absolutely love the different use of melody throughout there as well. There's so many different elements brought in. So there's elements of Rainbow, and I'm talking early Rainbow, not Since You've Been Gone Rainbow. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, the different bands at the end of the day, aren't they? Yeah, I'm talking Rainbow. There's things that remind me of Opeth on here. There's really kind of progressive moments like that remind me of like just 70s prog bands, like obscure ones like Goblin and things like that. And again, Jenny Ann Smith's vocals are absolutely astonishing. There's some really tender, beautiful, cracked kind of bits, and then there's some absolutely soaring, again, very, very Dio moments on there as well, which can only be a good thing, in my opinion. There's about 4 absolutely outstanding melodies that happen before we even get to the first chorus, which you could actually base a whole song around. These melodies could be a cornerstone to a whole other song. And it's such a varied pace. It does so many different things. Once you get to the chorus, it's just absolutely expansive gold. And of course, there's some excellent soloing and keyboard work on there as well, as we've come to expect. So just a brilliant, brilliant song. You know, this is their War Pigs, as we alluded to earlier. It's probably what made me do it. And then the third song I really, really love, called Pearls and Coffins, which is Avatarium's take on a power ballad. It's got all the hallmarks of a power ballad, but it's got that dark, doomy spin to it. So it's very much dominated by the organ again. So the organ and the keys and everything on here are actually much more at the forefront, pretty much throughout the album actually, than they have been previously, and it's certainly added another dimension to the sound, and it's all the better for it again. So there's a beautiful, you know, kind of dramatic power ballad chorus. Again, there's some lovely acoustic kind of bits, and it's a song that builds and builds and builds, and it's the band working together as a cohesive whole. There's an absolutely ripping organ solo on there as well that reminds me of the best moments of Deep Purple. Rest in peace, John Lord. And I think John Lord would be looking down from heaven and smiling if he heard this song, and if there was such a thing as heaven. Then we get on to another personal favourite of mine, Hypnotised, which is just a really, really fun song. And it's quite self-explanatory. It's about being hypnotised, and all the instruments on here really work to actually convey the feeling of hypnosis. So there's really weird kind of effects on the guitar at the start. It kind of reminds me of like the Specials and the Stranglers for some reason. But yeah, there's a really weird kind of like kind of bit right at the start there, and the lyrics are really, they make me laugh, I've got to say. The chorus is like, hypnotised again. Like, oh God, this is a regular occurring thing. It's not enough to be hypnotised like once. This is a really unlucky person that just wakes up and goes, oh, bloody hell, I've been hypnotised again. Can you believe it? So, great source of amusement. Also, the guitar work just throughout, some really interesting, dreamy kind of harmonies, which really complement the feeling of hypnosis and being in this dream, surreal state. So, yeah, just a great, great kind of twisted pop song. And then we get into probably my personal favourite at the moment, Ghostlight, which has a much more eerie feel than the previous tracks. I love the lyrics on the song, first of all. Again, I always seem to compliment the lyrics on this band, but Leif Edgar's got a really, really unique way of actually pulling you into a situation with his lyrics and actually painting a picture in your head, and I don't think enough people really do that with these kind of lyrics. So it's got like a really kind of, again, creepy interplay between the guitars and the keyboard. It reminds me of some of the stuff on Opeth's Heritage album, actually. So really kind of creepy, trippy kind of thing going on. Again, there's some really stark, just lilting, haunting vocals by Jenny Ann Smith there, but in a much more sinister way. And it just works together as a really kind of chilling, fun, kind of perfect song for Halloween, I'd say. And then we get to Iron Mule. Actually, no, we don't. I'm going to go back. We go to Run Killer Run, which is more of a hard rock song. It's got a riff on it that reminds me of Nativity in Black, or Nib, or whatever you want to call it, by Black Sabbath. And it's a nice change of pace from the more kind of doomy, ethereal stuff on here. So it's a much more straight-ahead rocker. And again, it's just another string to the bow, really. Some really cocksure vocals by Jenny Ann Smith, and a really nice change of pace in the album. And then we get on to Iron Mule, which is a straight-out ballad, really. It's, in the way that Pearls and Coffins was a power ballad, this is just a ballad. And it's a really mournful, almost kind of folk song that depicts people slaving away to build a railroad track, presumably across Sweden. I don't know, because they're from Sweden, I assume that's where it is. And it reminds me lyrically of the Stargazer song from Rainbow Rising, which has a similar kind of slavery theme to it. And it's just a really kind of melancholy, depressing, maudlin ballad, which everybody kind of strips everything down, but at the same time, there's still that Avatarium crunch in the interludes on the guitars. So it's again a really nice change of pace. And then we get to the final track, The Master Thief, which is much more grandiose. It starts off very tiny, minimalistic moments, fragile singing from Jenny Ann Smith, before exploding into just this expansive, I don't want to say epic, but I'm very tempted to. But yeah, expansive epic chorus, and I said it, shoot me. So it's a great way to conclude the album. It's got everybody just playing on 10 at the end, Jenny Ann Smith just belting it out the top of her voice, and it just rounds off a really, really satisfying piece of work. It doesn't outstay its welcome. Again, they've just stuck 8 great songs on there. There's no filler on here. There's nothing on here that I can really say, oh, that could have been done better, because they've just refused to have comparisons drawn with the first album by going in a different direction, but still retaining the things that we loved about them. So this album, absolutely fantastic. I'm not really going to give it a rating. I think ratings and me, we're through. I'm not going to rate anything ever again. So no marks out of 10, but all I can say is it's a fucking awesome album. You should definitely check it out, particularly if you are into doom or 70s rock, the throwback kind of thing, then this would be right up your street. But I recommend anybody checking this out, because they are a really unique sounding band, and I think this one really is going to put them over the edge. We should start to see them touring the UK, touring much more all over the world, and hopefully it brings them a lot of success. So that's my review of Avatarium, the Girl with the Raven Mask, today. So I'm going to be reviewing a few more doomy kind of albums. I don't know what is about this October month and doom, but we are going to look at My Dying Bride, probably in the next video or so, which is really going to bum me out, because they are bleak as fuck. So yeah, in the meantime, check out this really fun, awesome album. Let me know what you think. Have a look at my other videos, and, you know, while you're here, why not subscribe? Yeah? Subscribe. You know, I don't do loads of videos. I'm not that annoying. I don't think, anyway. So, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will catch you later. Bye!